This book is so popular still. This year, its Amazon ranking was as high as number 15, yet it's half a century old. My book is just a couple of years old. It was a bestseller, but it's already ranking down in the tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands. So Atlas really must speak to people. Sales records show it's a book people turn to when government grows and scares us. The Economist published this graph of Atlas book sales over the past few years and pointed out that sales spiked when government grew or increased our debt. Here, the government announced interest rate cuts. Here, when the Bush administration announced it would support subprime lending. Here, when Obama was elected president. Here, when Obama passed the enormous stimulus package. Here's a graph that goes back further, 25 years. This year, Atlas book sales doubled. So, this is a hugely popular book. 7 million copies have been sold, and yet there's never been a movie made. Many in our audience sneer at the book. So, why? I think it's because elites in America hate the message. Rand celebrates capitalism and the individual. Elites don't like individualism, and they really don't like capitalism. In every newsroom I've worked in, and at my college, Princeton, capitalism was derided as selfishness. And lately, as a failure.
This is a failure of capitalism.
Quite a mess indeed.
The media tell us our current economic problems are proof that the free market has failed.
If I hear one of these ignorant, hypocritical, sanctimonious free traders ever talk about free markets again, they should be pilloried.
Pilloried? That's ignorant nonsense. The truth is that free markets, capitalism, have lifted more people out of the mud and misery of stoop labor and terrible poverty than any system ever. In just the last 30 years, the World Bank says, 500 million people who once lived on less than $1.25 a day have moved up and out of poverty. Free markets made that possible. But now, Wesley Mooch, Congress and the bureaucrats tell us they're going to fix capitalism. Their rules will make it better, kinder. Who are they kidding? They just can't conceive of a world where they are not the most important players. There will always be people who want to control our lives, who don't want anyone to get a fish pedicure, who think government and business should work together for the common good. But that's not what creates the common good. Rand had it right. She learned the hard way in Russia. What makes a country work for its people is leaving the Dagny Taggarts and John Galts alone, leaving them free to take risks, start new businesses, invent things, and also free to keep the rewards of their own work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Some call that selfishness, but that misses the point. I call it enlightened self-interest. When free people act in their own self-interest, society prospers. And that's our program for tonight. I'm John Stossel. See you next week.